guys, this is Junkyard D, and I've got a video here today on the basics of drag racing. If you've ever wanted to go out to the track, had questions, are unsure of what to take, what to bring, how to prepare, maybe you're a little bit intimidated, I wanted to go over some of those things just to get you to a comfort level to the point where you can get out to the track and have a good time, have a successful day. If that's something you're interested in, stick around. We're going to take some laps in the car and go over as we're going through the stages of the drag race and, like I say, just what to expect on your first day out. This video is not intended for the seasoned racer or a faster car, say a 750 in the 8th mile, 10-second car in the second and the quarter mile. The faster you go, the more regulations you're going to have. So we're just going to go on the basics, fundamentals of bracket racing, and hopefully answer some of the questions you might have, get you out on the track, and take it from there. If you're at all hesitant about going out to the track, maybe because you're intimidated or some of the other faster cars out there, faster drivers with more experience, don't worry about it. Remember this, they all started somewhere, and I'll be willing to bet if you ask any of those racers that are out on the track, they'll be willing to give you a hand. If not, they'll point you in the right direction. Now, you don't have to have the fastest car out there. That's the whole purpose of bracket racing. It levels the playing field so that if there's a fast car out there and a slow car, you select your dial in on how fast your car is, and basically at the line you have a handicap depending on how fast your car is compared to the other opponent in the other lane. So you can bring your daily driver, whatever it is, as long as it meets safety requirements by the tech inspector, go ahead and bring it. Have a good time. I happen to drive an old 1966 four-door Plymouth. It's not the fanciest car. It's not a 1969 Camaro hot rod or whatever the case may be. It's a basic car that got me out to the track. I'm building another one back here. This thing's been taking forever, so I went and picked up another reasonably priced car that I could go out and have fun with, and I've been having fun with it. So keep that in mind when you're putting something together. Don't overthink it. Don't get stressed. Just go out, have a good time. One other thing to consider when going out to the track is most tracks have a test and tune during their normal race days. So this gives you a perfect opportunity to get your feet wet and just try out your car, get comfortable with the track, how your car is running, get the process down, things of that nature. So number one, it costs less to get in for your fees to get onto the track. Number two, you don't have that pressure of having another driver in the other lane and staging and everything else. So you can focus on your lane, focus on your car, focus on what you need to do to get to the other side of the track. Okay, so before you get out to the track, there's a couple things that you want to prepare yourself and your car before getting out there. So I've got a couple things that I want you to keep in mind that when you get out to the track that you have along with. Number one, let's stay hydrated. Bring some waters, bring some liquid refreshments. Keep in mind, alcoholic beverages are not allowed in the track or in the pits during the races. Number two, also have a sunshade if you can, if you have one. Not just for yourself to stay cool, but also for your car. If it's very hot out there, you can pull your car in between laps to try to keep it cool as well. For clothing, you don't need a full racing suit, but you do need a t-shirt, some long pants, and some closed-toe shoes. Don't be that guy that shows up with a tank top, shorts, and sandals. That is not appropriate for racing attire, and they will not let you run. You will need a helmet. Now, depending on your track or the sanctioning body that operates your track, they may have some leniency on what kind of helmet you can use. They do have helmets that are designed specifically for racing. This is a Snell rated helmet, and it's a 2018 model, which is good through 2024. 2024 or 2025. So there are some date codes on there that you may want to check if you do decide to buy a helmet, and especially if you're buying a used helmet, make sure that it is current and that it will pass tech inspection. If you have any way to reach out to your track officials just to verify it, if you have questions about your helmet, you may want to do so just to make sure that your helmet will pass inspection. Bring along some basic tools. An air tire pressure gauge is a good thing to bring along, and if you have a portable air pump in case you have to inflate or deflate your tires. If you're going to be doing anything on your car or underneath your car, you're going to need a jack to bring it up and also place it on jack stands. In the pits, they will require you to have jack stands if you're underneath your car. Anything else, screwdrivers, a basic socket set, any other items that you think you may need to make any changes at the track, make sure you bring those along. Also, if you have one or you can pick one up, a paint marker for your windshield. You're going to have to write your car number on the windshield and on the driver's side, along with your ET, your dial-in, and what class you're going to be running in. So most people have one. You could borrow one, but it's a nice thing to have just to throw in the glove box. That way you have it along with you. You may also want to bring some extra fuel along. This is for obvious reasons. You don't want to run out of gas while you're up at the track or on your way back. I don't know if you're going to be driving your car or trailering your car, but it's always a good idea to have a little bit extra fuel. Also, if you're running a car that has a stock gas tank and you have a 20-gallon tank, you don't want to have that full. That's if you figure out how much a gallon of gas is, which is about 6 pounds, and you have 20 gallons in there, that's 120 pounds. If you run a quarter of a tank, 5 gallons, that's 30 pounds. So you're shedding 90 pounds off the weight of your car. That will make a difference in the speed in your ET. So just run a quarter of a tank while you're racing. Like I say, it's good to have a little bit extra fuel to put back in the car or to have on hand in case you need it. One other thing you might want to check out is if your track has a website. Most of them do. And it'll have listed on there which sanctioning body that they are affiliated with. On there, once you know that, you can go to that affiliated website, whether it be the AHRA, the IHRA, the NHRA, or the new WDRA, and download their rule book. You can look through the rules and it has everything in there along the lines of what you need to prep your car, what requirements are needed for a helmet, things of that nature. So if they have a website, go check it out. There's usually a lot of good information out there. You can also see a lot of times what other cars are going to be running out there, what classes they run, what times they are, their schedule. A lot of good information, so check out their website. Now when you get to the track, you are going to have to go through tech inspection with your car. This is for safety purposes, and it may seem a little bit intimidating, but it's pretty basic for the most part. Like I say, this is for safety purposes, not just for yourself, but for other competitors that are going to be racing on the track, spectators, the grounds crew, and so on. So take it seriously. Do a visual inspection of your car. If you got anything leaking or loose or malfunctioning, just make sure you get it taken care of before you go to the track. If the tech official does see something that he doesn't like, he will not let you run. So make sure you get it taken care of before you get to the track. When you first get to the track, you're going to get a registration card, and that will go to the tech official when you get your car teched. Fill out the top part with your information, but leave the bottom part for the tech official. He will check off everything and make sure that everything is appropriate on your car and that it's documented on the tech card. If you don't already have a registered car number, the tech official will assign that, so do not fill out that part. Okay, so I hope that information was useful and helpful on getting you comfortable with getting out to the track and knowing what to expect when you get there. So with that being said, let's jump in the car, let's go make some passes. I'm going to bring you through the whole process from getting into the staging lane and making a pass all the way down to picking up your ticket at the ticket booth. So strap in, let's go have some fun and be safe. Okay, so here we are starting off in the staging lanes. The lanes are numbered, so listen when they announce your class as to which lanes they're going to want you in. When you are pulling up to the lanes, watch the race director as he may indicate where he wants to position you. Once you're parked, you usually have a few minutes while the last group is finishing up before they call you onto the track. So now is a good time to check your tire pressure and do any last minute visual inspections on the car if you need to. Also make sure your windows are rolled up, helmet is on, and your seatbelt is secured, and be ready to go when he calls on you. Keep in mind that I've already run my 2 qualifying runs, so you will get a chance to warm up your car and dial your car in before starting the actual racing. You'll notice the director coming in from the left and stand in front of the black truck to my right. Each track has their own system for selecting luck of the draw and lane placement. Here you'll see him flipping cards to determine which cars are going to be racing and which lane they're going to be put in. The black truck to my right drew a red card. He is racing the car to his left, which is me, and he'll be put into the right lane. You'll see the race director signaling this to him, and then he'll signal to me to pull up into the left lane. Pull up to your lane and turn in at a 90-degree angle to pull straight into your lane. Look at the track ahead of you and try to align your car into the groove you want to be in. Next is the water box. Here you can see him putting down water for me. They will visually ask you if you want water. If you're running street tires or don't want to do a burnout, you can shake your head for no water, or in some instances carefully drive around the water box. The burnout is not necessary for street tires, as the rubber does not need to be heated up like a drag radial or slick, and the water can actually stay in the tread of the tire and actually cause you to lose traction. Watch the gentleman in the orange shirt to the right between the 2 lanes. He's going to roll you in, stop you, and then give you the go-ahead to do a burnout. Make sure you wait until he gives you the signal. He has to wait until the cars in front have cleared the staging area. Alright, light him up! I like to start the burnout in first gear for a few seconds, then drop into second, and then roll off the throttle. Okay, we've made it up to the starting line, or getting in position to start the race. This moves pretty quickly, and it's hard to see the tree through the windshield in this video, so I'll give you a little visual effect of the tree and the staging process. So if you can imagine, there are 2 beams of light across the track at the starting line that activate the bulbs on the tree. The first beam activates the pre-staged bulbs at the top of the tree. The second beam is the staged or for the second set of bulbs. Once you roll your tires across these beams and the top 2 sets of bulbs are lit, it will activate the tree and begin the countdown to green. So let's pull up to the line slowly until the first set of bulbs are lit. There, that's good. We're going to stop right there. Now we're going to wait on the right lane. You don't want to roll into both beams right away. Take your time. It's also a courtesy to wait for your opposing lane to pre-stage before you bump into the fully staged position. Okay, there we go. The right lane is now pre-staged, so you can start bumping in by tapping your brake until the second set of bulbs are lit. Okay, there we go. Stop and don't go any further. If you go too far, you'll red light and be disqualified. So we're just waiting on the right lane to bump in. There we go. Now get ready. The tree is officially activated and is starting the countdown. Bring your RPMs up, but don't let the car roll out at all. Now keep in mind this light sequence is just for visual effects, so the timing is not accurate. It actually starts and drops a lot faster than shown. You'll want to leave somewhere on the 3rd yellow light to get a good reaction time. If you wait until the green light is illuminated, you'll have a slow reaction time. If you leave too soon, you'll get a red light. Practice and learning how your car reacts will take some time. So be patient and don't get discouraged. It takes time to hone this skill. Okay, so here we go in real time. You can watch the guardrail on the left to get a feel for how I'm bumping in. Once the top 2 sets of bulbs are illuminated, hold the foot brake with the RPMs up and let off when you're ready to launch. The RPM will depend on your car's setup. I'm launching here at about 3,500 RPM. And there we go. Now it's time to exit the drag strip. Normally, if the return road is to the right, let the right lane go out first, regardless of who is further down the track. If the return road is to the left, let the left lane out first. Now we're going to be heading to the ticket booth to get your time slip. Be sure to be nice and smile at the ticket girl.
Bad. You don't want to see.
How did you win?
You don't want to see because he was really bad. Here.
Okay, let's see what card I get. Red card. I'll be in the right lane. Since there's no one to my left, I will race the car in the next row back. Notice the race director motioning the left lane in first so I don't cross in front of him. Then he motions me into the right lane. A little nod for water. So I wasn't quite comfortable with how the car was lined up, so I readjusted to the grooves I wanted before entering onto the track. Smoke him if he got him. You can't see the tree at all this time. Again, watch out the right window to see me bumping into the staging positions. Notice that the board in the distance lights up shortly after my launch. That's a wind light. Left lane, red lit. I didn't notice it during the run, so I drove it through the top end like I stole it. And the left lane, even though he was further down the track, is going to slow down and let me out first.
Semifinals, last race of the year, 2022. I got a bye.
So my reaction time was an 0:48 in the previous round, which isn't a great light, but it was better than the other two remaining drivers had had. Since there is an odd number of cars left, that gives me the bye round and a free pass to the final round. Now, since it's a bye run, all you need to officially do is break the beams at the starting line in order to advance to the next round. But it's a great opportunity to try for a good reaction time to get lane choice in the final round. It's also a good chance to run your car out to verify your dial is on. A red light or a breakout will not disqualify you in a bye run, so you may as well push it hard unless you're running hot or are having issues with your car. Also in a bye run, you can choose which lane you want to run in. I selected the right lane. So the other racer had a better reaction time in the last run. He had lane choice and selected the right lane. Alright, and here we go. This one's for all the marbles. Now you just take a smooth stroll down to Victory Lane. Alright, what'd you think? We got the win. It was a good weekend. It was a great way to end the season, so I'm glad you came along for the ride. Hopefully you got some good information, and hopefully I got you to a comfort level to get out and try it. Go support your local track. I'd appreciate it if you do. You know, the automotive industry and the racing industry is under a little bit of challenges nowadays, and unfortunately, you don't know if that track's going to be there next year. So go try it. Go have a good time. It's a great sport. It's a family sport. Bring your family with. They'll love it. Your little kids, they may want to run a junior dragster, or your wife, she may want to run her 5.0 Mustang. And oh, that's your 5.0 Mustang? Sorry, I thought it was the wife's car. I'm kidding. I am kidding. Seriously though, I'm glad you stuck around and watched the video. If you really liked it, hit that like button for me, hit that subscribe button, and ring that bell. Till next time, be safe, have a good time, and get up, get out, and go do something.